So an absorbing cup tie at the Butcher's Arms, and Leyton Orient with the first opportunity of any note. McLeish, who gets up well despite his relative lack of height, producing a save from Paul Phillips in the Droylsden goal. Not really beyond the routine for the goalkeeper. Just turning it over the top. Droylsden created the first real clear-cut chance of the night, and probably ultimately still the best chance of the night. Great ball over the top by Luke Holden. Kilheeney bringing it down, doing everything right, but finding the net. A man in such excellent form as he is in the blue square north, you expected the net to bulge. Clearly onside, took it down, got it out of his feet, but couldn't find that all-important finish. You wonder whether they'd be left to rue that, but they weren't. A slight element of controversy over the award of the free kick here, because Ben Chorley certainly felt that was a dive from Luke Holden. Colin Webster, the referee, thought otherwise. But Dave Pace's team made the most of the set-piece opportunity. Great delivery here from Brownhill. Kilheeney up. Well, the benefit of fortune with the way it came back off the post and squeezed into the net. A fantastic moment for Droylsden, and the Butcher's Arms alive with noise. Now, plenty to do here, Kilheeney, and he did it well. Brown despairing. Droylsden in front and in sight of a memorable victory. But Leyton Orient did respond before the interval. Few opportunities, decent delivery by Mpoku. And McLeish left with head in hands after his flick header just drifted wide. Not the worst free kick. And just inches away ultimately there for Orient. They'll feel they should have scored though before the break. It was probably their best move, or certainly one of their best moves of the match. Spring involved here after a good early work from Revel, and Mpoku involved as well. Nice flick there from Revel. Cox to drill it across the box. McLeish arriving back post. On another day the net would bulge. This time it didn't. No one arriving in the middle to have a more presentable opportunity. Got in behind, and McLeish couldn't apply the finishing touch. And Phillips was brought into action again just before the interval. Mpoku involved at the start. He looked lively at times for Orient, the youngster on loan from Tottenham. And Rebel's cross deflected off Lee Roach. Phillips making sure that it went to safety. They were never really under feverish pressure though from Orient in that first half, Droylsden. They upped it a notch though, the visitors, in the second half, and Paul Phillips did have a real worry here. Ball drops to Terrell Forbes, but Hardiker's presence enough, and he just couldn't squeeze it over the line. Phillips able to pounce on it. But heart in mouth for a second there. And there was an element of misfortune about it for Droylsden, but it was a good move. And Mpoku finding Cox, opting not to pull the trigger initially, proved an inspired decision. Found McLeish perfectly, his header cannoning off the post. And while he may celebrate, ultimately he'll go down, unfortunately, for the Droylsden keeper as a Paul Phillips own goal. See the damning evidence for the goalkeeper here. It was Mpoku who set it in motion. Cox could maybe have pulled the trigger, but he decided to lift it to the back post. McLeish's header off the post, and clearly off Phillips, and in for 1-1. A heartbreaker for the non-leaguers and for their goalkeeper. But Droylsden didn't lie down at that point. This was a great little bit of play by the substitute, Dan Gardner. And what a terrific delivery he produced. Unfortunately, no one gobbling it up.